Okay, so reputation. They say it takes years to build and sometimes just moments to absolutely shatter.
Yeah.
And that speed, that incredible velocity, it's not just some abstract idea anymore. It's the reality we're all living in.
It really is. The ground has shifted so fast.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. Reputation in the age of algorithms, how AI-driven public relations is rewriting the rules of trust.
We're going to really tear into how AI is fundamentally changing PR
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even trust itself.
Precisely.
Hmm.
The old playbook, it still has its place, sure, but it often just can't keep up, not with the digital world demanding answers like now.
Right. The days of just relying on carefully timed press releases and, those long-standing journalist relationships.
Well, they're not gone, but that model assumed a much slower news cycle. The digital ecosystem. It demands instant adaptability. Constantly.
Well, that's where AI comes in. That's exactly where AI-driven PR makes its entrance. It's a fundamentally different way of thinking, a new model where algorithms, machine learning, real-time analytics, they're not just supporting the narrative anymore. In many ways, they're actually dictating it.
Okay, dictating it. That's a strong word. So AI isn't just a faster typewriter or, an email blaster. It's becoming almost like an active player in creating the story.
In a sense, yes. It processes information and identifies angles at a scale and speed humans just can't match.
But does that make PR, I don't know, more sterile, less human, even with all that precision? Because like you said, this isn't just automating the simple stuff like sending out emails.
No, not at all.
The really game-changing part is, well, the capabilities, right? We're talking about AI systems that can track these subtle shifts in public feeling on social media, things humans might miss.
Reading the room, digitally speaking.
Yeah. And detecting potential controversies, like before they explode in the mainstream news. And this is key, tailoring different messages for tiny specific groups of people almost instantly.
It's that micro-targeting capability that's so different.
Exactly. Think about a product recall. Used to be a total nightmare, right? Broad apologies, hoping for the best.
A huge, messy cleanup operation.
Right. Now, AI could potentially pinpoint exactly which customers are most upset, figure out their specific complaints from online chatter, and then help craft, 10 different hyper-personalized responses almost immediately.
That kind of rapid, targeted repair. It was just unthinkable, even a few years ago.
But this isn't just about efficiency, is it? This is where we start bumping up against some really profound questions.
Absolutely, because if AI can shape a brand's image in real time with that level of precision, it really makes you stop and think, who's actually in control here?
Control of public perception, you mean? Is it the brand's human team calling the shots? Or is it the algorithm itself?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it leads to some tricky ethical territory, too.
Yeah, like you mentioned before, the idea of AI identifying narratives that are maybe too effective. What does that look like? Can you give us a kind of hypothetical?
Well, imagine an AI analyzing public sentiment finds that a particular slightly misleading but very emotionally resonant narrative is extremely effective at deflecting criticism during a crisis.
Okay.
The algorithm flags it. This works. Now, the human team sees this. Do they use it? Knowing it's maybe not the whole truth, but it's powerful. Or do they stick to a more factually accurate but less emotionally impactful message?
That's a real dilemma. Speed and effectiveness versus, ethical boundaries.
Exactly. Where do you draw the line when the machine tells you something ethically dubious works really, really well?
And that tension, that's precisely what we want to explore in this deep dive. Finding that crucial balance. You've got AI's incredible speed and its power for personalization on one side. And on the other, you have these fundamental human needs for, authenticity, real connection, real trust.
Yeah, and mastering that balance, what you're calling algorithmic trust, that's going to be critical.
It really feels like that intricate dance-juggling machine speed with genuine human credibility, especially when so much messaging is becoming automated that's going to define which brands actually make it, which ones thrive in the next decade.
No question about it. It's a whole new landscape for building and maintaining trust.
Okay, so we've really wrestled with this core tension, haven't we? This push and pull between AI's power, its speed, its precision, and these fundamental human questions. Control, authenticity, ethics. Where do we draw the lines?
It's complex stuff.
Definitely. Yeah, bringing it back home for your takeaway for everyone listening. What does all this actually mean for you navigating this world?
Yeah, that's the key question. I think Connecting this to the bigger picture, understanding this idea of algorithmic trust. It's not just something for PR pros or marketers to worry about.
Right. It affects all of us.
It really does. It's for anyone who consumes information today, anyone who interacts with brands online, which is, well, pretty much everyone, and for brands. They absolutely have to get this right. Mastering this balance between, human oversight, ethical judgment, and the sheer power of algorithmic capabilities. That's not optional anymore. It's survival. It's how they'll thrive.
So here's maybe a final thought to chew on long after you're done listening.
Okay.
As we as consumers encounter all these narratives online, day in, day out, how do we become more discerning, especially knowing now that the messages we see, the stories we read, they could be precisely tailored by algorithms?
Tailored to resonate with us specifically.
Exactly. Potentially identifying these, emotional triggers or angles that are just incredibly effective. What does that knowledge do to our own perception of trust, of authenticity?
It makes you question things a bit more, perhaps.
Maybe it should. Does this new age of algorithmic reputation place a kind of a unique personal responsibility on each of us? A responsibility to be more critical, maybe pause before we react, to question why a certain message feels so perfectly crafted or why it hits such an immediate emotional chord. Something to think about.